What's up everyone, King Crown's back again today, playing some more monotypes, and today I'm diving into Mono's Psychic, which is a type I've been playing for a while, for a few weeks now on the ladder, and I've been really enjoying it, and I finally found a team I'm pretty happy to show, so let's jump right into it. So first off we have Tapu Lele, and it's your typical Choice Scarf Tapu Lele. It's really good for the dark matchup, for dragons, just in general, anyone who's fought Tapu Lele knows it's quite strong. Psychic Surge as well is really good for blocking priority, which is extremely good on my team, as we'll see quite soon. And moveset wise, we have Psyshock, which is good because it's actually my only Psyshock user, and the team definitely does lack physical attackers. So it's nice to have some way of attacking, especially defensive walls on the team. Psychic as well, which offers a bit more immediate strength than Psychic, because it is 10 base more power, and it is boosted by Psychic terrain. Next up we have Moonblast. And as I said, Moonblast is super good for catching dragons and dark types, which are two types that Psychic can actually struggle with. Dragon just because they're quite high BST and is a very strong type, and dark for obvious reasons, but Tapu Lele is really good. And finally we have Focus Blast, which is nice for steel types because other than that, Tapu Lele is kind of walled out by steel types, which is unfortunate. So next up we have Necrozma, and Necrozma is actually going to be the first of many Trick Room users on my team. And why I gave Necrozma Trick Room, even though its speed isn't the lowest, 146 is still definitely outspeedable. It's good to outspeed any Pokemon that have in any way speed investment are probably going to outspeed Necrozma, which means this will outspeed them in in Trick Room. So with Prism Armor, it actually reduces damage of super effective hits, which is really good because that activates our weakness policy, which increases our stats quite a lot. And it's very bulky with just shy of 400 HP, so it can usually tank super effective hits nicely enough, provided they are unboosted. So when it gets hit by a super effective move and activates weakness policy, I can click Trick Room that turn, and suddenly my Rock Blast, Knockoff, and Photon Geyser are seemingly looking a lot more powerful. And the reason for this kind of odd stat spread is if the Pokemon is intimidated or it has its attack lowered in any way, shape or form, it's actually good because my special attack will kick in then and be very strong for Photon Geyser, as Photon Geyser takes the higher of attack or special attack. And the most important part about Photon Geyser, it does ignore abilities, which is super good for Disguise and Mimikyu. It's super good for sturdy Pokemon. Pretty much any ability can be ignored, Photon Geyser will ignore it, which is really good. We have Knockoff then for things like Spectrier for Blacephalon. If they are neutral, they're not +1. Necrozma should be able to live a single Shadow Bulb thanks to Prism Armor, trick her up that turn, and then Knockoff can start to sweep a lot of either opposing Psychic teams or Ghost teams, which give my team so much trouble. And finally we have Rock Blast, and that's solely there for bug types, especially Volcarona, who is massively threatening to my team. Next up we have Slowbro, and Slowbro is the defensive wall on my team. With max HP and max defense, this thing can eat so much. Rocky Helmet is also there to punish things like U-turn users, dueling beat, especially any multi-hit moves, or even to an extent Urshifu, especially Rapid Strike. So Rocky Helmet is good just to deal a bit of chip damage to those, and with the extra defense it has boosted, it can survive most things and kind of click Trick Room in their face. Now after they're Trick Roomed, we can teleport into a slower Pokemon like Necrozma, Hatterene, Slowking, something like that to start getting some sweeps, especially if they're a physical attacker who can't 2-hit KO Slowbro. Or alternatively, we can slack off to get HP back and slowly chip them away at Rocky Helmet. And finally, we have Scald to potentially spread burns, which makes physical attackers even worse against my team. Next up we have Hatterene, and Hatterene has a similar stat spread to Slowbro, which might seem strange at first because you think it might be my specially defensive Pokemon, but the reason I've given it max defense is because it can actually nicely eat a lot of physical attacks due to its decent bulk. It has Draining Kiss for fantastic longevity because 75% recovery is insanely good, especially because it is stab thanks to its fairy typing. We have Magic Bounce, which is pretty much my only hazard control, besides a small bit on Alakazam, and I think in some cases prevention is better than cure when it comes to hazards. So in this case, I just try to prevent hazards going up at all, as opposed to being able to defog or rapid spin them away. We have Leftovers for longevity, and finally, moveset wise, Calm Mind, which patches up my honestly only mediocre special defense and decent special attack. Especially in Trick Room, this thing can become a terrifying sweeper, with, again, Draining Kiss for more longevity and Mystical Fire, 2 fend off steel types which give my team hassle. As well as that, it is really good to lower special attack, especially on maybe an opposing Calm Mind Pokemon. And finally we have Trick Room again, just to, as I said earlier, commence some sweeps. Next up we have Slowking Galerian form, and Slowking is really good because it's so specially defensive. It's a very good partner to its brother Slowbro. Its special defense hits over 450, which is crazy, a good bit over 450. And the reason I didn't invest completely in special defense, I wanted to invest some in special attack, enough so that Future Sight into Shadow Ball can KO both Spectrier and Blacephalon, which are 2 Pokemon that give my team a lot of trouble, because Ghosts in general are very scary for my team. Assault Vest gives this thing even more special defense, as I talked about previously, and we have Regenerator for longevity. So having these 2 with a Regen Core is actually super important on the team. And moveset wise, we have Sludge Bomb, which is just generally decently strong stab. As well as that, they can spread poison, which is nice. Future Sight, which is great to limit swap-ins and take complete control of the battlefield, especially blocking priority with Psychic Terrain and having Trick Room thanks to Slowbro and Necrozma. We have Shadow Ball for the aforementioned ghost types like Spectrier, Blacephalon, Gengar, Mimikyu, all those kind of things are huge threats to my team. And finally, Flamethrower for the steel types, which can be quite annoying. And last but not least, we have Alakazam. So Alakazam is a Focus Sash Magic Guard Pokemon, which means no matter any entry hazards, it can come in and it will be guaranteed to be on full HP. So it's kind of like having heavy duty boots. It ignores things like sand, hail, toxic, assuming the opponent doesn't have like neutralizing gas or something, which is really good. So what Focus Sash lets me do is pretty much guaranteed to live any hit as long as it's not multi-hit. I click counter. This is especially good against maybe a +2 Dragonite who's clicking Outrage. I can take it Alakazam, it's guaranteed to live thanks to its Sash, and we can click counter and pretty much guarantee a KO. It doesn't have the most HP, but it will do up to 500 damage with counter, which is enough to win a KO most Pokemon in the tier. Next up we have Psyshock. Sorry, I said Psyshock on Tapu Lele as my only one. I forgot I have it on Alakazam. Again, similar to Tapu Lele, it's good for hitting especially defensive walls, and it's generally quite strong stab. Next up we have Taunt, and Taunt is good to shut down hazards, to shut down status, to shut down setup, and kind of force counters on the opponent, or sorry, force my opponent to attack me so I can counter them. And last but not least we have Shadow Ball, again, because the Ghost type is extremely scary for my team, and with Slowking weakening the Ghost types, Alakazam can potentially click Shadow Ball again in their face. So that's going to be the team for today. We're going to jump into some games. So we have our first game against Mono Fighting, which in theory sounds like it's going to be an easy matchup, but things like Urshifu are very deadly towards my team, so I definitely have to keep things like Alakazam healthy. Hatterene here does so well in this game, especially if I manage to get Trick Room off, and as well as Tapu Lele, to be honest. So I think I'm going to... I think I'll open up Slowbro, as they probably open up Cobalion. Now they might go straight for a taunt, so I'm just going to Scald them and try burn. They do get their rocks up, which isn't too much of an issue for me, as I managed to get my burn, which is pretty good. So here I'll try Trick Rooms, because what's on Trick Room, I can teleport into something like Hatterene and start a sweep, potentially. I'll teleport, they probably knock off here. They'll take Rocky Helmet Chip. And I regen back most of my HP. So I think I'm still slower as Necrozma. But I think I want to keep Hatterene's leftovers for Urshifu. I'll go to Necrozma. I actually might be faster than this, which is okay, because they can knock me off and activate my weakness policy. And then Photon Geyser will get a KO here, in this position. Yep. So thanks to Prism Armor, I managed to live the knockoff convincingly, and now they're staring in front of a +2 Necrozma. I guess I'll knock off in case it's banded. That did nothing, and it's black glasses. That's okay, because Hatterene comes out here and just clicks Draining Kiss. It probably forces out Cobalion, in which case I always go into my Slowbro. And as long as I have Alakazam healthy to counter Urshifu in the endgame, I think I'm in a decent position. So I just have to play this quite carefully. As expected, Galerian comes out. I get all my HP back, which is really good. They could Iron Head me here. Honestly, it won't do much damage. So I'll just trick him again. Yeah, that did nothing. Because after a Calm Mind, my Mystical Fire will KO, and then I get 2 more KOs to Draining Kiss afterwards, which is really good. Just to guarantee the KO here, I'll click Mystical Fire. Now, Draining Kiss pretty much gets 2 KOs, unless potentially this is Focus Sash Lucha. And even if Hatterene dies in this position, I can always take out Tapu Lele and Moonblast Urshifu because I knocked off its potential Choice Scarf. It turned out to be Black Glasses. But knocking off, I think there was probably the best play because I did not want this thing having its Choice Scarf if it had that. With the Draining Kiss here, Circle Punch will not KO. It does nothing. And I get all my HP back. So this is definitely a hard matchup. They have to play Urshifu exceptionally well, I think, to be able to beat Psychic. But I've definitely lost to mono fighting before, so it's not impossible. So they end up forfeiting, and we're going to pause there till we find our next game. We'll be right back. So here we have a game against Mono Rock, and it's against my friend Rotom Espresso, so best of luck to you if you're watching this. Rock can be a pretty threatening type, honestly, and I've played his Rock team before. It's really solid. Lycanroc Dusk can be particularly threatening. Especially because it has Tough Claws and possibly Choice Band too. As well as that, despite Nihilego being weak to my team, I can sleep on it because Sludge Bombs or Sludge Waves can threaten my team, especially if my Slowking is dead. So here I think I'm going to open up with Slowbro and try to get a Scald off turn 1. If they open up with Shuckle, I can always go into my Hatterene to bounce back. So they go to Nihilego. I will Trick Room here, allowing me to outspeed hopefully most of their team. As they go into Tyrantrum. This thing I'm pretty sure might be banded. Will Scald try and burn this? It's probably the ideal situation for me, because a Rockhead Head Smash is about to hurt. Even something like Slowbro, which is super defensive. Keeping Alakazam healthy is also very good in the endgame, I think, especially if Tyrantrum is running rings around my team. I can potentially Focus Sash counter them. But a Scald Burn here would be particularly excellent for me. Obviously I can't play with in mind that I have to get the Scald Burn. Sometimes you do have to play like that backed into a corner, but on turn 2 that shouldn't be my only hope of winning the game. That did a lot of damage. And we actually survived because Slowbro is so tanky. So we'll click Scald again. There's no point slacking off when I can regen most of this HP back, as Scald is pretty much a KO in this position. Or at least a burn on something. Future Sight on my Slowking is also fantastic, I believe, in this position. Nice. So we take care of, I think, one of the bigger threats to my team, as they take in Shuckle. I'll go in Hatterene here. They could Final Gambit me. Great play. Getting damage off my Hatterene is quite annoying for me, but it's not the end of the world. Lycanroc Dusk comes in. Does this click Accelerock? I think I go into Slowbro. Oof, that was strong. It actually makes contact, which is kind of interesting. I'll Trick Room again. As they go into Auroras, presumably maybe wanting to go for a Freeze Dry, or perhaps they want to get their Veil up. And if they get their Veil up, that's not good for me. I'll go into Slowking. Click Future Sight. Future Sight stops Nihilego coming in, and honestly does a lot of damage to the likes of Rhyperior and Lycanroc. I think in this position I don't care for Hatterene anymore, as they go into Rhyperior. And my Trick Room's about to end, unfortunately. I'll just Kiss. A bit of chip because the Deep Future Sight is coming out this turn. As they go into Nihilego. I don't think that was the play. I think Future Sight might actually KO because I do have investment in special attack. Oh my god, that thing is bulky. No worries, we can always go back into Slowking here. Even if they are the Meteor Beam set, Slowking is so tanky, I honestly think it can survive. Also, I forgot, I'm running the black and white sprites here. I'll change back to my Gen 6 models soon. I was streaming yesterday, and I always stream, when I'm not playing on camera, I always use the black and white sprites because I really like them. Actually, I'm going to change right now before I forget. I just like to keep some level of consistency in using the sprites. Great play there going into Rhyperior. Because my Slowking now has to swap out. I'll go into Slowbro. I expect maybe Auroras to come in. If they try and attack me, Earthquake does a lot of damage actually. Hopefully they're not Mega Horn. I'll Scald. They survive thanks to Solid Rock. Unfortunately for them, I get the burn. I do activate their weakness policy, but it kind of sucks for them that they got burned. So I need to keep Slowbro very healthy for Lycanroc, so I'm going to sack Hatterene here. I think she's done her purpose this game. And in this position, I definitely outspeed. A part of me wants to take in Lele and just click Psyshock because that doesn't allow Nihilego to come in, but it does allow Auroras to come in and get its Veil up again. So I think in this position... I want to get HP back in Slowbro. I'll slack off. Hopefully I survive, it's not a crit. Nice. So this lets me Trick Room up and then teleport, which is really good for me. Because I get into Crosma for free. So I'll teleport here. They died to their burn. They do get advantageous switch, but I think Necrozma doesn't allow much in. And especially because now it's in Trick Room. I can click a powerful. I'll knock. We know it's not choice locked. It could be Life Orb. And it's not Light Clay because their terrain, their screens didn't last. Okay, they go straight for an Encore. Good play there. A part of me wants to take in Slowbro because I think they're going to Veil here. And now I can just swap out and get regen back. But the question is, do I want to go to Crosma or Slowking? I feel Slowking because it doesn't allow in Nihilego. They T-Wave, that's completely fine with me. I'll click Future Sight again. I always have a swap into Lycanroc with my Slowbro, I think. Even though I can no longer do Chip with it. Oh my, Crunch did a lot of damage. Okay, so that is not a swap any longer. Though I think I'm in the position where Psyshock can just kind of win. So I'll teleport here in case they stay in. Data... Auroras. It has less defense, so I think Psyshock is the play here. It might KO. Auroras is quite bulky. 123 HP is a lot. Yeah, it survives. And T-Waves, great play. Excellent play on my opponent's part there. This allows their Nihilego to outspeed me. Putting me in, honestly, a quite a dangerous position, because they can easily click Sludge Wave here. I have to go into Slowking. I think it's always my play. And once I get a Future Sight off, I win the game. Nice. GG. So that actually kind of came close towards the end because Nihilego could have easily swept me. But we take those, and with that we're going to pause and we'll be right back. So GG Espresso if you're watching. So we have another game here against Mono Dragon. So in this game, definitely Dragapult is pretty threatening to my team. especially if it's running Phantom Force. So I think, as usual, actually Nihilego is really good in this game. I could open up and just start clicking Choice Scarf Moonblast turn 1, but I'm going to open up with my Slowbro. And if they open up Garchomp, they open up Dragapult. I think I always Trick Room here. That's pretty good for me. Unfortunately, they don't reveal much. They go into Latios. I'll take a Slowking. Unless they Psy Shock, I should survive pretty much anything. Oh, they Trick. Great play. Excellent play on my opponent's part there. I'll click Future Sight. They have no real swap-ins. And they'll go into Hatterene here. Because I eat this up for free. I'll Calm Mind in case they decide to stay in. And why this is a good play is it lets me trick them up again the next turn. They can't re-trick me. As they go into Goodra. Does Goodra run Gunk Shot? I'll Calm Mind again once to scout what they do. Sludge Bomb. That was pretty strong, and the poison really hurts. But we'll Draining Kiss back as much HP as possible. That gets a decent amount back. Though unfortunately we are still losing this 1v1. I think I want Draining Kiss once more. And then we'll go into Slowking. I can definitely use Hatterene again later in the game if I can Trick Room Teleport into her. I'll Future Sight here. Now I think they Sludge Bomb. I'll go into Slowbro. As they Dragon Balls. Good play. So we'll go back into Slowking here, get a regen back. In this position, something's eating a Future Sight. And Sludge Bomb, which is pretty good for me. If I get rid of Goodra, that's excellent. The problem is, no matter what I click in this position, it lets them get up a Dragon Dance next turn. So I think I'll Future Sight. I want to go into Lele. If they Sludge Bomb here, great play. Nice, okay. So unfortunately I don't get any damage off my Future Sight. But it doesn't allow them to Dragon Dance in my face, which is pretty good for me. And we know Latios can barely touch my team. It can't really touch my Hatterene or Tapu Lele. Dragonite is very threatening in this position. And Kyurem can be quite threatening too. They go in Dragapult. I'll Moonblast. They are Choice Scarf, it doesn't KO. And this should KO back. So that is one of the biggest threats to my team taken care of, which is excellent for me. And in this position, Dragonite cannot Extreme Speed as long as I have Tapu Lele healthy. I'm going to go into Slowbro here. If I can break its multi-scale with Rocky Helmet, I can teleport back into Tapu Lele and click Moonblast and potentially want to KO it. So Dragon Dance was expected. We'll Scald here. They Dragon Dance twice, great play. Please burn. No burn, unfortunately. We can Trick Room. Into Teleport. Because they Dragon Dance twice, I should be slower. And to block their Extreme Speed, I go into Tapu Lele. Which I feel in this position is pretty good. They Dragon Dance again, that's crazy. So I definitely outspeed, or outslow, I'm not sure what the correct term here is. And click Moonblast. Pick up KO. Now unfortunately I am obviously slower, because I am Choice Scarf. So I'm faster, sorry, but technically slower in Trick Room, you know what I mean. It's always strange talking about Trick Room. So they definitely Psychic here. I'll go into Slowking. Get some regen back, and this way I can click my Future Sight. Which is pretty good for me. They Mystical Fire, that's okay. I'll Future Sight. They probably drop a Draco here. As they Mystical Fire again. Now in this position, I think Draco actually will KO me. I feel like I still value Tapu Lele. I guess Necrozma is the most expendable member. If they drop a Draco, it mightn't even KO. Okay, it's definitely going to KO in this position. I'll soak one up with Slowking. Because if I can Trick Room, Knock Off is really good in the endgame. Nice. I'll Future Sight again. They might go into Garchomp, which is exactly what they do. I think I can always go into Slowbro here. If they Scale Shot, that's quite as scary for me. We Trick Room. Into Teleport, into potentially Hatterene. They Toxic. Interesting. We Teleport here. I don't think there's a move they can click that KOs me. They get the rocks up. Good play. Great play, actually, because I can't get rid of those. We'll click Draining Kiss here. It misses out on the KO just about, unfortunately. Not to worry, I get Necrozma in. And we can click Knock Off here. Kyurem is still kind of scary for me. But I feel like Alakazam can do good work in the endgame. I haven't showed off Alakazam at all this live. As well as that, as long as this isn't Choice Scarf Kyurem, Tapu Lele should be able to kill it with Moonblast. I'm going to knock this off in case it is Choice Scarf, as it's a Pressure Leftovers set. That's also kind of what I was fearing. So, what I'm going to do, I think... Yeah, I go into Alakazam here, and I Taunt. Just to stop this from continuously roosting in my face. And this way it has no more recovery. So every time it wants to sub in my face, it will take damage. Though this endgame is looking kind of scary for me. I feel Taunt is the play. Actually, do I Psyshock first? Just go straight and break the substitute. As they Earth Power. So they might want to sub this turn. Actually, I just Psyshock. I Taunt. As they Freeze Dry. Good play. Okay. This position is quite scary for me. I take in Tapu Lele. I click Moonblast. They can potentially go into Latias and live. Okay, they didn't. I feel like Latios struggles to beat everything else on my team because it has no recovery because they got an Assault Vest. We click Moonblast here again. Wow, 1%. So as long as Slowking lives a Draco Meteor, and I think I go into Slowbro, just in case it's crits, to get some regen. They have to Draco Meteor here if they want to kill my Slowbro. And they're -2, so as long as this doesn't crit twice, I should win the game. Because I think Necrozma will live at -4. GG. Very close game there in the end game, but we managed to pull it off, and we'll pause till we find our next one. We'll be right back. So here we have a game against Mono Ground. In this position, I definitely really like my Slowbro. Necrozma can probably do some good work too, but overall, Ground being a bulky offensive type can give me trouble, especially with Crocodile running around. So I think we're going to open up with Slowbro. That's probably Water Absorb Quagsire. Do I value my rocks not being down? I think I Scald. They knock off. Great play, very strong. Is that banded? That did so much. I'm not too sure. Let me check. My Slowbro. Mammoth Swine. Knock off 59 to 70. So that is banded. And if I have no item, 40 to 47. So unfortunately they take an item off me here, pretty much guaranteed. The question is, what do I want to get knocked? Definitely not Slowbro. I don't want this dying, it's super important at the end game. Maybe Hat. Because my Crocodile... Sorry, Crocodile is outsped by my Tapu Lele. I think I Trick Room here. As they go into Lando. Which lets me take out Slowbro. Quagsire is actually going to be very, very hard for my team to take down. That did so much. It's Life Orb, no wonder. Well, Scald. They might go into Quagsire. I'll try bounce a Toxic back. As they Earth Power, good play. Though now I know they're not unaware. So I can click Draining Kiss. As they go into Nidoking. If I were them, I would click Earth Power to catch my Slowking. And it definitely KOs. Let's Scout for Sludge Wave. This way I can click Future Sight. Unfortunately I have to play around a few turns. I think I want to keep Hat healthy. They Earth Power again. I'll go into Necrozma, it should live. And this invites in their Crocodile. So I'll go into my Tapu Lele here. And the Crocodile coming in. They stay in. And give me Nidoking. Which I'm very surprised, but I'm okay with that. I'm still in a decent position. I think Moonblast KOs. Quagsire is still looking pretty scary for me. How much did Earthquake do to me earlier? Oh, a lot. I remember that. Earthquake, where are you? Quagsire, Skull, Slipper, 46%. I think I slack my Necrozma. In this position, I can Scald, but they probably take in Quagsire, so I'm going to slack off. Any chip I can get with Rocky Helmet's pretty good for me, as they go into Mammoth Swine. I'll slack again. Please don't crit, that did so much damage. So I have to KO this. That's so threatening to my team. Unfortunately, Garchomp is also super threatening. They go for a Scale Shot, I think, so I go into Tapu Lele. If they Earthquake, great play. Great play. This endgame got a whole lot harder for me. I think I Slowbro again. Into Trick Room. As they Sword Dance. I'll Scald. If I burn, great for me. Yeah, because I can always counter the Landorus with Alakazam. A Scald burn here would be ideal. As they go into Quagsire. I go into Slowking and get up my Future Sight. Okay, if I went into Hattery in that turn, that would have been so good for me. They Earth Power, it does very little damage. I'll Sludge Bomb here just to try and get a poison. Yes, excellent for me. Because in this position, Future Sight's about to come out. I want to keep my Hat alive to kill Garchomp. I'll just Sludge Bomb again. And I think Quagsire is dead now. Thanks to Poison and the Future Sight. I don't think the crit mattered. They go into Garchomp. I don't care for Slowking anymore. I'll Future Sight in case they Swords Dance in my face. Which is exactly what they do. I feel like Slowbro lives one, so I'll Trick Room. Future Sight comes out this turn. Does great damage. And in this position I just click Scald. I burn. They have a Lumberry, that's okay, because this position I can get in my Hatterene and click Draining Kiss. And Lando should die to a counter. I'll case anyway. Maybe I survive one. With the extra HP I drained. Which I do. So they actually died to Life Orb Chip. GG. Very close game there. Actually looking quite scary for me. That Garchomp was played very well. But we managed to pull through in the end, which is quite nice. And with that, I think I'll pause and find one more. We'll be alright. So here we have another game against Mono Rock. In this game, they have T-Tar, which immediately is very threatening to my team. But they also have Stakataka, who's even scarier in Trick Room than my team. So this one could be quite difficult. I definitely want to keep my Alakazam healthy, I think. And as usual, we're going to open up Slowbro here. And try Fish for a Scald Burn turn 1. They open up Rhyperior. Are they Mega Horn? They are indeed Mega Horn. Wow, that was strong. We get the KO, which is pretty good. I thought with Solid Rock they might live like the previous game, but obviously they had some special defense or HP investment. So in this position they take in T-Tar. I don't actually know if Crunch one-hit KOs me. I do want to keep this healthy for Stakataka and Lycanroc though, so I'm going to go and I think sack my Hatterene. As I actually bounce a T-Wave back at them, which is pretty nice for me. I just click Draining Kiss here as they go into Lycanroc Dusk. Now if they crunch, that's extremely scary for me. But my slow bro should be able to eat at least one. They Iron Head. That's not bad for me at all. And if they're banded, even better, because I can slack off here. They're actually wasting Sand turns, which is really good for me. I'll go to Hatterene again. That was a crit crunch, and we ate that pretty nicely. I'll Calm Mind first. Because I should live 2 more crunches, because that was a critical hit. The next one should be doing around 25, 24. Omastar comes in. Omastar is a huge threat to my team, so I'm going to Trick Room here. As exactly I expected it to Shell Smash. Now the good thing for me is it's not Focus Sash, it's White Herb, so Draining Kiss should put me enough HP to survive. Yep, just about. Now Stakataka is still extremely threatening to me in the endgame. Honestly, Nihilego is kind of threatening too, depending on what set it is. Did they go for a Gyro Ball? I shouldn't get one at KO because I'm quite slow. We'll get a bit of chip, a decent bit of chip too. And we always go into Slowbro here. And we will outspeed after this one turn. And Scald does a lot of damage to anything coming in. T-Tar is fine. I think I always go into Hat here. I think it served its purpose this game. Now, unfortunately, we don't outspeed. They could be fully paralyzed. That would be ideal for me. Either way, it lets me get into Crosma. Nice. We honestly don't do too much damage because Sandstorm is boosting their special defense up to crazy heights. We'll Kiss again. They got the defense drop, which means they're guaranteed to kill me next time. Unless, of course, they're fully paralyzed again. I want to keep my Slowbro healthy still for these two extremely threatening Pokemon. I guess I'll sack Hatterene. It's definitely served its purpose. And in this position... I think I'll go Slowbro and click Scald. They can T-Wave me, as they are fully paralyzed, and we end up doing a lot of damage to them, which is super good for me. So as long as my Alakazam is healthy, I can always win a KO one of these two with counter. As they miss the T-Wave, very unfortunate for them. Lycanroc. Okay, I'll Scald you. Crunch won't KO, even if it's banded. And Tough Claws. Slowbro is so disgustingly bulky. I think in this position, Slowking is always my play. Yeah, T-Bolt is nothing. If that's Choice Scarf, I think it's as good as over. I could Future Sight. And that is the game. So I think I'm going to leave it there. We're taking quite a while to find games. It's kind of early in the morning when I'm recording. As well as that, I'm fairly high ladder. So I hope you did enjoy, and I will be right back. So that is it from Mono Psychic today. Hopefully you enjoyed. I think Trick Room Psychic is usually so strong. There's so many good Trick Room users with the teleport buff from Generation 8 or Let's Go, whatever you want to call that, maybe Generation 7. It's so good to be able to like Trick Room, teleport into other Pokemon and just commence sweeping. I'm kind of sad Alakazam didn't get to show off at all what he can do, because usually counter Sash Alakazam is pretty amazing. But either way, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. All that kind of stuff helps me out so much, and I really, really do appreciate it. And with that, I hope you have a fantastic day, and take care.